Hi, good morning. Hope all of you are fine. Just recall what we have discussed yesterday. Last class we have discussed the dual operator. For a bounded linear operator, a from x to y and any linear functional phi belongs to y star, we have defined a star from y star to x star as a star phi is equal to, actually a star phi of x is equal to f of x, where f is a bounded linear or f belongs to x star. This is our definition. Actually, a star phi of x is equal to f of x, and f of x is same as phi of ax. This is our definition. Okay. Now we are going to prove one theorem, and the statement of the theorem is if a from x to y, if a from x to y is a compact operator, then a star from y star to x star is a compact operator. Okay. Now the statement of the theorem is theorem 4.4.1. A from x to y is compact. Okay. Then we have to prove a star from y star to x star is compact. Now what is a compact operator? A from x to y is compact if every sequence, every bounded sequence xn belongs to x, a xn has a Cauchy subsequence. That is our definition of compactness. Okay. And there is another result. If a from x to y is a compact operator, then every unit ball in x is image of a unit ball in x is pre-compact. That means if a from x to y is a compact operator, then what about unit ball in x? Unit ball in x denoted as dx. Okay. And image of unit ball of x, unit ball means for every x belonging norm of x less than or equal to, image of unit ball means a dx. A dx is pre-compact. Okay. If a is a compact operator, if and only if. Okay. So to prove a is compact, we have to, it is enough to prove that for every unit ball dx, a dx is pre-compact. Now what do you mean by a pre-compact set? A set M is pre-compact if every sequence xn belongs to M has a Cauchy subsequence. Okay. So to prove a star from y star to x star is compact, we are using this result. Okay. So that means we have to, here a from x to y is compact means a unit ball in x, image of a unit ball in x has a Cauchy subsequence. Okay. So here image of a unit ball in y star. Okay. Image of a unit ball in y star. Unit ball in y star means dy star. Okay. Now what about image? Here image under a. Here image under a star. That means here a star d of y star. A star d of y star is pre-compact. Okay. So to prove a star from y star to x star is compact, here we are going to prove a star dy star is a pre-compact set in x star. Okay. So to prove this, what we have to prove? We have to prove every sequence in a star dy star has a Cauchy subsequence. Okay. So if you look at any sequence fn belongs to a star, we have to prove every sequence fn has a Cauchy subsequence. Okay. So if you take any sequence in a star, given a is a bounded operator, therefore a star is also a bounded operator, because a norm of, we have already proved norm of a equal to norm of a star. We have proved this result. Therefore, if a is bounded, a star is also bounded. A star is bounded means norm of a star x is x a star, some here, some 5 you take, less than or equal. Okay. So if you take any f belongs to, if you take any fn belongs to a star, dy star, then clearly that is also a bounded sequence. That is also a bounded sequence. So we are considering a bounded sequence in A star dy star. So and we are going to prove every bounded sequence in A star dy star has a Cauchy subsequence. Why we are considering bounded sequence is this one. A star is a bounded means A star is bounded. A star bounded means if you take any element, then that is also bounded. Okay, so that is our aim. Clear? Okay, now consider some f belongs to A star dy star. F belongs to A star. A star is a map from Y star to X star. Okay, dy star is an open ball in Y star. Suppose this is our Y star and this is our X star. dy star is an open ball in Y star and A star dy star means here. Okay. Okay. So A star dy star is actually some linear function. By our definition, this is a linear function in X. Okay. So suppose AF belongs to A star dy star, then what is our f of x actually? F of x is, you can find that A star dy star means there is a phi belongs to dy star. Okay, such that phi of Ax equal to f of x. This is our definition. Okay, actually f of x is A star phi of x and this is equal to phi of Ax. Okay, now what about norm of f? F belongs to X star. So norm of f under X star is equal to, by definition, supremum of norm of x less than or equal to 1 mod f of x. But mod f of x is actually this one. This is equal to supremum of norm of x less than or equal to 1 mod f of x is phi of Ax. Okay. Now if you consider some x belongs to X with the norm of x less than or equal to 1, what about Ax? A is a map from x to y. Okay. So Ax clearly belongs to y. And Ax is an image of unit ball. If you denote t is equal to A of dx, what is A of dx? Dx is the unit ball. A of dx means image of a unit ball. Okay, so if you denote t is equal to A dx, if x belongs to x, Ax belongs to y and clearly Ax belongs to t here. Once again, x belongs to x, norm of x less than or equal to 1 implies actually x belongs to dx. Okay, so Ax belongs to A dx. And if we denote A dx is t, we get Ax belongs to t. So this equation you can replace as norm of f, x star is equal to actually supremum of here phi of Ax. Ax I am replacing as some y. That means y belongs to t modulus. Here norm of f x star is equal to supremum of y belongs to t phi of y. Ax I am replacing Ax as some y. If norm of x less than or equal to 1, clearly Ax belongs to t. Therefore y belongs to t, norm of phi of y. Okay, hope this definition is okay. Okay, Now thus we get norm of f x star is equal to supremum of y belongs to t mod phi of y of y. What we get? Okay. So if you look at A is a map from x to y. This is compact. A is compact. Okay. This means dx is a unit ball in x. As A is compact, image of a unit ball in x is a pre-compact set. Therefore, A dx is a pre-compact set. That is T is equal to, we have denoted T is equal to A dx. Therefore, T is a pre-compact set in Y. Okay. Thus we get norm of f x star is equal to supremum of y belongs to t modulus of phi of y, where y belongs to t, where t is a pre-compact set. Okay, clear? Collection of all continuous functions on t. Okay, t means, what is our t? T means A dy star. Okay. Now let M is equal to set of all phi belongs to A dx. A dx. Okay. Now let M is equal to set of all phi belongs to dy star. Okay. dy star means open unit ball in y star. Phi belongs to dy star means norm of phi must be less than or equal to 1. Okay. And phi belongs to y star means phi of some y1 belongs to k. Okay. Now, what about norm of phi y? Norm of phi y is, by definition, norm of phi y is less than or equal to norm of phi into norm of y. Okay. Phi is a linear functional on y. Okay. So this is actually norm of phi y is less than or equal to mod phi y for every phi belongs to dy star. Because for every phi belongs to dy star, norm of phi less than. Therefore, this is true for every phi belongs to f. Okay. Now, what about norm of y? Norm of y. Y belongs to, our y belongs to, okay. Now if y belongs to t, if y belongs to t, what happens? If y belongs, actually our y belongs to y, okay, and our map A is a map from x to y, and if we consider dx, clearly A dx is a subset of y. Okay, so t is a subset of y. Okay, therefore if we take some y belongs to t, what about norm of y? Clearly, what is norm of A? Norm of A is supremum of mod x less than or equal to 1 norm of Ax. Okay. Okay. Therefore, if you consider y belongs to t, actually y belongs to A dx. Y belongs to A dx. Y belongs to t means y belongs to A dx. So we have norm of phi y is less than or equal to norm of y. Okay. M is set of all phi such that phi belongs to dy star. Okay, we get this. And if y belongs to t, then what means y belongs to A dx. Okay. Y equal to Ax for some x belongs to x and x belongs to dx. Okay. That is norm of x less than or equal to 1. Now y equal to Ax for some x belongs to dx. Dx means set of all x such as norm of x less than or equal to 1. Therefore, norm of y is less than or equal to norm of A. How? Because norm of A equal to supremum of norm of x such that So norm of x less than or equal to 1, norm of ax. Y is equal to ax for some x. Okay, and but norm of a means supremum of such a norm of ax. This implies this is less than or equal to norm of a. Thus we get norm of phi of y is less than or equal to norm of a. Okay, this is true for every phi belongs to dy star. This implies this set M is actually uniformly bounded. Okay, now we are going to prove M is equicontinuous, and using these two results we can easily say that the set M is precompact using Arcela's theorem. Okay, now phi of, to prove M is equicontinuous, phi of y1 minus phi of y2 is, this is less than or equal to norm of phi, this is actually phi of y1 minus y2, and this is less than or equal to norm of phi to norm of y1 minus y2. Okay, thus we get modulus of phi of y1 minus phi of y2 is less than or equal to phi belongs to dy star, therefore norm phi is less than or equal to 1. Phi belongs to dy star, therefore norm of phi is less than or equal to 1. Norm of y1 minus y2. Okay, therefore given epsilon greater than 0, if you choose delta is equal to epsilon, okay, then norm of y1 minus y2 less than delta which is equal to epsilon implies norm of phi of y1 minus phi of y2 is less than or equal to this one, norm of y1 minus y2, which is less than epsilon. Thus we get for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a delta greater than 0 such that norm of phi of y1 minus phi of y2 less than epsilon whenever this value is less than delta. Delta here we choose delta is equal to epsilon. Okay, this implies this set M is equicontinuous. This implies using Arcela's theorem the set M, our set M is equal to set of all phi such that phi belongs to dy star, and this M is precompact. Okay, now we are going to prove A star is X star is compact. Now we are going to prove A star is compact. That means we have to prove A star of dy star is precompact. We are going to prove this. A star of dy star is precompact. Okay. Now let Fn be any sequence in A star dy star. Okay. As A star is bounded, clearly Fn is a bounded sequence. Let's sequence Fn n is equal to 1 to infinity be a bounded sequence in A star dy star. Okay. Now we have to prove this sequence as a Cauchy subsequence. So we have Fx star is equal to this one. For every f, clearly there exists a phi. Okay, therefore each Fn corresponding to each Fn you will get a phi n. Okay, therefore if you consider phi n is equal to 1 to infinity be a sequence in be a sequence. Okay, phi n is also a bounded sequence. Why? Each Fn is bounded, therefore norm of Fn over X star is same as supremum of y belongs to T mod phi n of y. Okay, this is bounded, therefore this is also bounded. Therefore phi n is equal to 1 to infinity is also a bounded sequence in Y star. As M is pre-compact, we get this sequence as a Cauchy subsequence. That means given any epsilon greater than, there exists a subsequent n dash minus phi of n double dash is less than epsilon. We have phi n equal to 1 to infinity is a bounded sequence in phi in Y star. Also, as M is pre-compact, we get this sequence as a Cauchy subsequence. Okay, therefore norm of phi n dash minus this is less than, okay, actually this is tends to 0, this is tends to 0 as n dash comma n double dash. Okay, so corresponding to this phi n dash we get a f n dash. Therefore actually modulus of f n dash minus f n double dash tends to 0 as n tends n comma n dash comma n double dash tends to infinity. Okay, thus we get for sequence fn there exists a Cauchy subsequence. Okay, thus for every sequence fn belongs to a dy star, there exists a Cauchy subsequence. Okay, this implies a dy star is pre-compact. Okay, that means a star is compact. Okay, today we have discussed one theorem, and the theorem says that if A is from X to Y is compact, then the dual operator A star from Y star to X star is compact. Okay, hope the proof is clear. This is one of the most important results. In the next class we will start our next section. Okay.